I saw this the other day and I thought I'd share this with y'all. Rampage Jackson on why some black men don't settle down with black women. Some black men.
When I think about it, like, all right, so my girl's Armenian. So she grew up in this community where societally the way that they relate to each other is a little bit different. And very early on, I started to realize, oh, she loves to clean up after me. She loves to cook for me. She loves to take care of me. And the first time that I ever brought her around my mom, and my girl went up to go get me a plate of food when the food got served or whatever, I didn't even have to get up. I didn't think about it. She just brings me over a plate of food. And my mom says to her, like, why are you doing that for him? Make him get up and get his own plate of food. And I'm just thinking, look at what feminism has done to our society, that my mom thinks that she's doing something wrong by loyally serving her, what would go on to be her fiance. And I understand where my mom's coming from, because she probably grew up in more of like a sexist environment where she thinks that that's wrong. My girl, she likes that. That makes her feel good to be able to,
Right.
do things for me.
Right. My mom did the same thing to my Japanese when I was married. And I had to tell my mom, I said, Mom, this is why I went to Japan to get me a wife.
Don't ruin it.
Yeah, don't ruin it. I said, that's why I ain't married no black woman. You know what I'm saying? I told my mom.
Now that's tough right there. Yo, the emphasis on that is crazy.
Mom got so mad when I said that, but I'm just keeping it real. Like, come on. Like, I asked my wife for a glass of water, and she was pregnant at the time, and she ran to the kitchen to get it and came back. And my mom's like, why you got this girl running to the kitchen? I said, I didn't ask her to run. I just asked her for a water, but that's how they do it. That's just, I don't know why they do it like that, but they hurry up and get you shit. When you ask her, I asked her really nice, hey babe, can you get me a glass of water? And she just jogged to the kitchen.
Right.
I don't know why she did that.
Yeah.
And my mom was mad. And then from that second on, my mom was in her head. And by the time my mom left, my ex-wife was already acting like a black girl, doing all this.
Oh my goodness. Now that's tough. That's tough. I want all y'all passport bros to see this, bro. I really do. That's crazy. This probably what happened to everybody that bring a girl over here. And for most of the people that are passport bros, they usually stay over there. They usually don't come back here. To be honest with you, what's the point of coming back here? I mean, great value stuff is high at Walmart. Great value is high at Walmart. Just imagine what name brand stuff is at Walmart. How much are Pampers? Baby food. Everything is high as shit. I'm telling you, ain't no reason to come back here. The rice is not made out of rice. The fruit is from something else. Everything is fake over here. It's best to just stay over there. Rampage Jackson. He probably got his girl while he was still in his career. But
All right, but so I gotta hit you with this now, is that is the stereotype about successful black men, is that they reach a certain degree of success and then they, go find a white woman or Asian woman or whatever, and
that's not really the thing. The thing is that because these girls, they like to look at basketball players and these football players, right? So when these guys are coming up, everybody knows that in order for you to be scouted for real, you have to, let's take basketball for instance. You have to be at least probably like the top 100, top 200. Let's say top 200. Really 100 if you think you finna get in the NBA. So 100 or 200 to get into a D1, D2 type school. D1 is the ones that's really getting to the NBA. These guys are going to white schools because these white schools are the D1 schools. Duke, Kentucky, Carolina, Texas, USC. It's really Duke and Kentucky and Florida. These colleges ain't nothing but white girls up in them. You probably got a sprinkle of black girls, and these white girls ain't playing with y'all. They see who that man gonna be, they going for it. Black girls like to play games and stuff, want him to, you want to sit back and want him to come to you. What I'm saying? It's not predominantly all black dudes in the NBA are not dating white girls, but that's the narrative. But if it switches that way, that's why. Because these guys, they're going in high school, they're going to white school. They're getting scouted from high school to go to these other high schools. Like they'll take high school players from this high school and bring them to this high school. And it's like a college campus at a high school. So, and it's nothing but white girls. So if y'all really want that narrative to change, get into some of these white schools. I don't know what else to tell you. Or go over there and talk to them yourself. Say hi. Send them buy them a meal. Wake up with them at 4 a.m. to shoot the basketball. Be the one that catch the ball and pass it back to him. Help him. But you know, y'all ain't got the balls to do that. Y'all too busy being independent. Well, lose.
They don't want to create a family with black women, and then there's a lot of people in the culture now who look at that and they're all about just encouraging black people to date each other and stick together and not date outside of their race because they think that, you know, you need to create strong black families. You think, like, how do you feel about that?
Well, I think that black people, you know, most black men, we are if we're gonna date or marry outside your race, you already was interested in women outside your race. It's not that you, oh, now I got successful, now I gotta go get me a white girl. They probably was already dating white girls and Asian girls and Mexican girls before they got super successful. And do any guy really want to get married? I think what it is, you find a good girl that you love and you really love, and then she's the one who, like, most of the times, like, pressures you into getting married. Like, there's some guys that are looking for marriage and want to start a family and stuff like that. But I think that it's a negative thing that black women, it's a negative narrative that black women say, oh, once he got successful, he went and found him a white girl and stuff like that. Most likely that guy was already dating outside his race. You know what I'm saying? I know a lot of my family members never dated outside their race, and so they ask me they ask me questions and stuff like that. And I think if they got super successful and they got rich, or if they played ball, or if they became very successful as an athlete, they would still marry a black woman because they haven't been around or had access or been attracted to women outside their race.
It's weird because
I think, now that's a good point, but I think the opposite. I think that bad bitch has no color. I think that that's cute to say, but if a Spanish one walked up on you and she was bad, you take it. If a white one walked up on you and she was bad, you take it. If a black one walked up on you and I don't care if you was a KKK member. If a black one walked up on you and she was bad, your little KKK dumbass would take it. That's what I think. I think it's all cap, because when you got power and money, we'll see how you act for real. Oh, we'll see.
Because if I were to put myself in the shoes of that conversation, it seems like unbelievably racist and fucked up, because I would have dated a black woman without a second thought instead of my girl. Like, if my girl happened to be black and I met her, I would never have even thought about it. You know, it would never have occurred to me that, like, I should be concerned about the race of the person I'm dating. And I do not give, like, if I meet a white woman tomorrow, say I was single, I don't give her any points for being white.
Exactly.
Maybe I would assume that there's some degree of shared experiences or like shit that we've been through. Maybe if not even from being white, but like say we grew up in a similar place or whatever, I could think, okay, you're white, so maybe we have a little bit more in common. But I'm not like in favor of that. Like that would never occur to me.
Right. My thing is, your person or your soulmate or the person you fall in love with might not be your race.
I agree with Adam.
Right.
And I think America it should just come up off all that race shit. You know, it's 2023. It's too late in the game. Like, we are Americans. We all mixed up. Come off the race shit.
Well, sometimes it feels like the old goal was for race to not matter, and now the goal is for it to matter so much that you almost can't have a conversation without bringing it into the conversation, right?
Yeah. And I think a lot of people are scared to be called a racist these days. And that's going on in England as well, because, you know, I got a lot of friends over there, my boxing coach is British, and telling me the same thing. It's like they putting us against each other. And, you know, you gotta be careful what you say. You might sound racist. I'm just sick of it, to be honest. Yeah, because I feel like if you're not racist, you should be able to say whatever the fuck you want, joke about whatever you want. That's what we all did, you know, a couple years ago. Now the word's sensitive.
Because you're sitting next to Cowboy when we did that fight companion.
Yeah.
And he, I'm not going to say he's like a full-on racist or anything, but he definitely says a lot of shit that comes across as a little spicy in this day and age. He had one quote when we were on that thing where he goes, listen, I like all different types of ice cream, but I always end up with vanilla. And I'm thinking in my head, I'm like, if I was a more easily offended person, I could easily take that sentence to mean that he's fucking racist. But I understand what he was saying. He's saying that he would fuck a woman of any race realistically, but he usually ends up dating white women. I gave him the benefit of the doubt. But then when I'm reading about Cowboy and stuff,
Yeah, you'd be canceled. I don't know who said that, but he would be I get it, but he would be canceled anywhere else. I ain't gonna hold you.
he's got a lot of shit for saying some edgy racist stuff over the years. But would you consider him like your real friend, or do you feel like there's a real gap between you over the race thing?
I'm gonna tell you, I don't see Cowboy as being racist. Okay, let me try to explain this the best way. Same thing about Donald Trump. People think Donald Trump racist. Okay, let me try to explain this the best way I can. Give me a second. So just because somebody say some fucked up shit about another race, don't really mean they're racist. You know what I'm saying? Like, say, because I've heard my dad I've heard my dad call white people cracker before when I was a kid, and we didn't grow up with that racist stuff because we're mixed. Like my grandparents and stuff is mixed, so we was taught a little bit different. And
I don't assume that he's a racist because he's called people cracker before.
Right. So
like, who the fuck cares? It's just it's just a word.
Right. He a lot of people don't know what word cracker mean though, but some white person cut him off and threw a finger sign. He said, "Fuck you, cracker," blah blah blah. And I got on my desk. I said, why you calling that man? Why you calling that man a cracker? He blah blah blah. You know blah 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 blah. And he told me, son. He was like, son, you know what I'm saying? Sometimes you get mad and you just say stuff. He said, that don't mean that I hate all white people, but I'm mad at that white guy right there.
Right.
I would say, well, then don't call him a cracker, just call him dude. And he's like, yeah, you're right. But
if you get in an argument with a fat guy, you're going to call him a fat fuck.
Damn right.
And you don't hate fat people.
I don't hate fat people at all.
It's just you're fat. I'm trying to hurt your feelings a little bit here.
Right. So I believe that's what a lot of people are. I think that maybe Cowboy probably would say some stuff, but is Cowboy racist? No, because the interactions that I have with him, stuff like that. I'm from the South. I know racist people. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't put Cowboy in the racist category like Donald Trump. I wouldn't put him in a racist category. I don't think.
I think that's it for this video. But my point is that I honestly think the narrative might start switching. You know what I'm saying? Because of Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook, you know, people are starting to see that blacks ain't really a terrible race like the media like to put it out to be. Because you're starting to see more and more of us everywhere you go. So you will start seeing more interracial relationships. A black with white, black with Spanish, black with Asian, black with whatever, Filipino, whatever, Thai. You know, you're gonna start seeing way more of that. Black with black. It's way more competitive. And the worse y'all girls start acting, the worse it's gonna get. So to be honest, you can keep your little hood niggas, you know what I'm saying? You might start seeing some other people dating elsewhere. You might want to change y'all attitude before it's too late. Like, comment, subscribe. I'm gonna catch y'all in the next video. Peace.